The Fellowship Center, apartment living for low-income seniors and the disabled, offering an independent living center, monthly social activities, and transportation. The Fellowship Center, 301 Lafayette Avenue East, Mattoon.
The Charleston House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street, the Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection, commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Austin Perez. Authorities say a man wanted for a double murder in western Missouri has been found dead in central Illinois. The Missouri State Highway Patrol say Ryan Munson had been wanted for killing 2 people in Carroll County, Missouri Sunday. They say new information indicated he was hiding on a Decatur property. Authorities say law enforcement tried contacting him yesterday but found him dead from a gunshot wound in an RV on the property. They say it appears Munson shot himself. The Highway Patrol says Decatur police are investigating Munson's death, and they say the original homicide investigation is still active. Decatur police are also sharing details of a crash that sent several people to the hospital yesterday. Investigators say that crash happened just before noon on the intersection of North Woodford and East Winnetka. They say a Chevy Impala swerved to avoid a Ford F-150 that had turned in front of it, and the Impala lost control, left the roadway, and hit a utility pole. Police say the driver of the Impala and 3 passengers were taken to the hospital, one with life-threatening injuries. They say the 87-year-old driver of the F-150 was not hurt and was not impaired. One man is hospitalized in critical condition after shooting in Urbana yesterday. Champaign police say they responded to that shooting on Carver Drive near the Urbana-Champaign line on reports of a shooting around 2:30 yesterday afternoon. They say they found the 22-year-old man with potentially life-threatening gunshot wounds. Investigators say the shooting came after a dispute on the scene, and they say those involved left on foot. They're asking anyone with information to call police. Illinois health officials say they've identified the state's first case of West Nile virus this year in Piatt County. The Illinois Department of Public Health says you can get the virus from the Culex mosquito, but not from other people. The department says about 1 in 5 people with the virus have symptoms. Health officials say symptoms include fever, headache, nausea, and aches. They say you can fight the bite by using the 3 R's: reduce, repel, and report. A new measure aims to tighten restrictions on e-bikes and scooters in Illinois. Governor J.B. Pritzker signed the bill into law yesterday. It requires users have a driver's license, insurance, title, and a registration for e-bikes that travel faster than 28 miles an hour. It also sets age limits for lower speed bikes and scooters. 15 years of age for bikes that travel up to 20 miles an hour and 16 for those that go up to 28 miles an hour. The bill passed the legislature with bipartisan support amid concerns about risks to drivers and pedestrians. The law takes effect January 1st. Federal aviation officers are investigating after a plane blew 2 tires before takeoff at Chicago O'Hare yesterday. Authorities say the American Airlines plane had pushed back from the gate when the tires popped. The FFA says a pilot on another plane noticed the tires were losing tread and alerted air traffic control immediately. The plane had been heading to Charlotte, and all passengers were taken back to the terminal.
Warmer temperatures across EIU campus today, and unfortunately those temperatures aren't going anywhere. As we look for our high temperatures across our viewing area today, we got 81 up in Champaign, 82 in Charleston, 84 in Effingham and Robinson. And if we look at our current conditions, those temperatures will look fairly similar: 81 Champaign, 81 Charleston, 84 still held out in Robinson. As we go into tonight, our temperatures will go down to the low 60s, mostly clear and winds staying fairly calm, perfect for that lunar eclipse. And yes, you heard me right, lunar eclipse. We're going to have our eclipse start around 9:34 p.m. CDT tonight, peaking around 11:13 p.m. with 96% totality. What that means is if you were to look up in the sky at that time, it will be a dark reddish orange color for almost all of our viewing area. After that eclipse ends and as we head into tomorrow, however, our temperatures will begin to rise, 67 around 8 a.m., 82 around noon, 84 degrees as our high around 3 p.m. Wind staying fairly calm as we begin to raise temperatures going into the weekend. Once again, 84 on Friday. Some clouds will begin to come in on Saturday. 87 is our high for that day. And then as the clouds move out, temperatures continue to rise, 92 on Sunday. Now, the reason for these rising temperatures is a high pressure sitting over the American Southwest. Now, that pressure system is holding some very hot temperatures in the mid-90s, low hundreds across much of that area for the last week. And unfortunately, as you can see, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that pressure system and ridge will be moving into our area going into next week, bringing those warm temperatures with us. Our average for this time of year is 84 degrees Fahrenheit. And as you can see here, those temperatures are going to be well above average for this time of year, going into those mid-90 degree temperatures, much like the American Southwest. Once again, 92 on Sunday as those clouds move out, 95 on Monday, 98 possibly as our highest here in our viewing area on Wednesday. Some of our southern counties may even go into those low 100 degree temperatures, and unfortunately those nighttime temperatures will not be giving any rest in those mid to upper 70s, providing no relief from the heat throughout next work week. That's been a look at your Skywatch forecast. Now for sports.
We good? Eastern Illinois University football is less than an hour away from kickoff. The Panthers march into Kentucky for the opening game of the 2026 season against the Murray State Racers, with quarterback Cole LaCrue expected to lead the offense tonight, with the goal of improving from a 3-9 2025 season. Kickoff is 6 on the dot, and we'll have full coverage Friday night. And talking about some sports, some big action is kicking off at Lakeside Field for both men and women's soccer. The women's team kicked off a Thursday afternoon doubleheader with a 0-0 draw with Indiana State. Neither offenses could finish on goal, but goalkeeper Ella Cradaville making 4 saves for the Panthers to keep a clean sheet. EIU men's soccer kicked off at 4 this afternoon, and at last check, it's also a 0-0 draw. Hopefully it doesn't stay that way. Panthers can come out and get a win. But regardless of the score, I'll have something about the men's team players tomorrow night. And finally tonight, let's take a look at some local high school football action on hand for tomorrow night. First things first, Charleston will get another chance to get their first win against El Paso Gridley. That game is on 7:30. Mattoon will be in the same boat, except their second game on the year will be in Champaign County against the Rantoul Eagles. That game is also at 7. And unlike the last two, Tuscola has a 1-0 record to build off of as they visit Shelbyville at 7 p.m. Friday. And that'll be it for sports tonight. We'll have a final look at the Skywatch forecast. Take it away, Jackson.
Thanks, Austin. Once again, very hot temperatures as we head into next week. 92 on Sunday, 95 on Monday. Again, those very high 90s on Wednesday. Very high temperatures in the mid to upper 70s in those overnight hours. Again, providing very, very little relief for those very hot temperatures throughout the next work week. That's a final look at your Skywatch forecast. Back to the desk.
Thank you, Jackson, and thank you for joining us. For more news and weather, be sure to log on to our website at weiu.net. Have yourself I'm so confused what happened.
Disabled, offering an independent living center, monthly social activities, and transportation. The Fellowship Center, 301 Lafayette Avenue East, Mattoon.
The House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street. The Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection, commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.